him.
I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Schmack-a-magob, it's time for the only news that matters. And in a new interview with Bolton Positive, Triumph guitarist and vocalist Rick Emmett was asked about if he can foresee himself going back on the road again, and he responded, "I'm a guy that wrote a song that said never say never, and I do find it dangerous to take a real big paintbrush and paint brush strokes, but I should tell you, I've been struggling with some arthritis in my hands, and that's changing things. I don't know how much it will, though. I've gone through sort of a cancer treatment. Now I'm sort of trying to deal with this advert of arthritis, and I don't know how much it's going to knock a hole in my ability to play. So certainly going out on the road and traveling in hotels and airports, that does seem like a grind to me. And I've got to admit, my wife has been patiently sitting around for decades waiting for, like, hey, she's going to go on a safari. She's going to like Kenya and, this year, and I'm not going with her. That's not my idea of fun. On February 5th, Rick revealed that he had just completed radiation therapy treatment for prostate cancer. He added in social media posts that he said, "For you gentlemen out there north of the age of 45 to 50, please do yourself a favor and get checked. If you catch it early, there's an excellent chance it can be treated, and treatment doesn't always have to mean surgery or chemotherapy either. Consider this a PSA to get your PSA checked." Rick went public with his prostate cancer battle last November, telling the Rock History Month, "I have to take medication and stuff. I just had another biopsy done. I'm going to find out in a couple of weeks whether or not I'm going to have to come out or stay. Me and my age, everybody should be getting checked regularly. You got to try and stay ahead of it. And I'm ahead of it. But my dad had it for like 20 years at the end of his life, and I'm hoping I'm just that slow-growing kind of guy. I'm hoping I'm that slow-growing kind of guy." There's a statistic. I think it's about 80% of men's bodies, when they're old, when they get autopsies, they have some sort of prostate cancer. And, he said in his book, Laid on the Line, The Backstage Pass to Rockstar Adventures, he says, "It's just, if you live long enough, you're probably going to get it. So it doesn't freak me out. It would freak me out if somebody sat me down and said, yes, it moved. We're finding it in other places now." Because I've been there with my brothers and my mom. And you go, well, that's not good. How much time do I got? Although prostate cancer is one of the most common forms of cancer found in men, in the second leading cause of cancer deaths in men, it can also be one of the most treatable forms of cancer. If prostate-specific antigen is identified early, there are treatment options that have been shown to extend survival. It is important for men to be informed about different treatment options and their side effects profile that can have educated treatment conversations with their doctor. On average, approximately 1 in 7 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during their lifetime. And that's some scary stuff, man. I get my prostate checked all the time. A couple times a year. One time, this was years ago, because I'm old. I passed that stage over a decade ago to get my prostate checked. And, in the beginning, I had the doctor put a finger up my ass. And I hated that, man. It sucked when he would do that. And the last time he put a finger up my ass, it was really odd because when he did it, he had both hands on my shoulder. I don't know how he did it. It must have been magic. But anyway, I didn't know that Rik Emmett was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And I really hope they caught it early because Rik Emmett is a hero. More than other bands as far as just a life-changing... I take music dead serious. And when I was a kid, there were a lot of bands like Triumph out there writing songs of positivity, of hope, you know, and I'm gonna do it. And like Rick said in my favorite Triumph song, you're the master of your own destiny, so give and take the best that you can. You know, that stuff was ingrained in me as a kid. When every time I had obstacles in my way, I would think of songs like Fight the Good Fight. And I would be like, no, I'm going to do this. And you know what? Sometimes I do it, sometimes I didn't. But when I didn't, I got back up and tried again or tried another option because that was the Rik Emmett way in his songs. It just gave me this positivity. And if you saw the Triumph documentary, there was a mega fan in that documentary that had cancer. And he reached out to Rick, and Rick told him, man, you can do it, man. And he had really a lot of faith, man. What a touching part of that documentary. And the guy kicks cancer's ass because he listened to Rik Emmett, man. And again, he's a very, very extremely special person in my life. He kind of like, you know, it's not really, I mean, yes, it's his music. I love it, but it goes beyond music when it comes to what he was saying in those songs back then. The positivity, the way, you know, just the, God, I got so much out of I got a lot out of my parents as well, but, you know, my parents taught me not to steal and fuck people over, you know, and go out there and make your money and, you know, become your own man. That's what my parents taught me. Rik Emmett taught me when you get those roadblocks and obstacles, you can do it. Pick yourself up again and keep going. Because if you fall 89 times, you get up 90 times. You know, you keep going. You never give up. And that is the philosophy that has gotten me through life. It hasn't all been easy. It hasn't all been fair. But in the end, I always kept that way of thinking, that positive way of thinking, that no matter how bad life is treating me, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. The most important thing in life is health. As long as you got your health, no matter what bullshit comes my way, I'm going to fight it and kick its ass, or it's going to beat me to the ground and I'll get up and I'll go somewhere else. That's what Rik Emmett taught me. And I want Rik Emmett to kick its ass. I want Rik Emmett's prostate cancer to die from a severe case of Rik Emmett. Because Rik Emmett is a badass. Great lyricist, amazing guitar player, beautiful voice. He's the full package. I'm glad I got to see Triumph back in the day on the Allied Forces and Never Surrender and Sport of Kings Tour. I'm glad I got to see them at least 3 times. Rik Emmett has always been my hero, man, and I love Triumph. I highly recommend that documentary. Even if you don't like Triumph, check out that documentary. You'll end up appreciating Triumph. And they're from Canada. You know, in Canada, it's against the law in Canada to be an asshole. You know? Rush, Triumph, I mean, these guys are awesome. They're great people because, you know, they don't want to go to jail for being an asshole in Canada because all Canadians are super nice. So is there anybody out there like me? You know, you're old like me, you're in your teens in the early 80s, and you would listen to Triumph and it will give you a charge of positivity and I can do this. I can't be the only one. I know there was that cancer guy, the cancer patient in the documentary that went through it, but I wonder if any of my viewers got that positive message from Triumph that made your life so much better. If you did, please leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from all of you. And I want to thank all of you for watching The Only News That Matters. And please, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. It would rule if you did that. I would really appreciate it, and like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So come on, everybody. Stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath and smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.